Hello everybody and welcome to the 2026 Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships. I'm Ben Augusto and with me is two-time U.S. champion and 2014 Olympic bronze team medalist Gracie Gold. Gracie, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And we have a wonderful event ahead of us. I've been most excited about the junior women, selfishly, all day. And now the time has come.
The time has come. We are here for the junior women's short program. Of course, later in the week, you're going to be able to watch all the championship level events happen as they're fighting for those Olympic spots. But today, we get to look at the next generation of U.S. talent. And Gracie, we have a stacked field of 18 incredible athletes here in the junior women's event. Who are you excited to see today?
I mean, it's going to be a great event. I think if everyone goes clean in the short program, the scores are going to be so tight. I would definitely look out for Jessica Jurka. She is the only returning medalist. She won the bronze last year, and she lands triple axel.
Look out. Yeah, that's a powerful element. A lot of points there if she pulls it off. Now, do you think she's doing that in the short or in the long maybe? What do you think the strategy is?
We'll know more on her 6-minute warm-up, but I expect if she is going to do it, she'll keep it for the free skate.
That makes sense. All right, who else are you looking for?
The group is so close. Anika Chao, she has been 5th at the last 2 nationals, and this is a redemption year for her. When I spoke to her, that's the whole premise of her free skate, and she's trained so hard all year to get a spot on the podium.
So then we also have Sophia oh boy. Sorry, Sophia.
Beskorovainaya?
Beskorovainaya, yes, that's correct. And she trains with Ilia Melanin. Could she be a dark horse here that we're looking at?
Oh, absolutely. And I really love her short program. I worked with her in some of the national development team camps, and she can be a really great skater. Again, if you ask me who to look for in this field, there's 10 names that I think could all be super competitive. It's going to come down to who can skate the cleanest and get the closest to perfection today and tomorrow.
Well, there you have it. A lot to look forward here in the junior women's short program. Let's take a look at who's on the ice right now.
There is 1 minute remaining in your warm-up.
So here is the starting order for group number 1. They are finishing up their warm-up here at the Centene Community Ice Center, just outside St. Louis, Missouri. You can see the focus on their faces as they are going through the last bits of preparation. And it's time for the women's junior short program to get underway here at the U.S. Figure Skating Championships.
She represents the Detroit Skating Club. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stella Vajda.
So, starting off this event, Stella Vajda from Detroit Skating Club.
Oh, and a costly mistake on that double axel, popping open. But a very beautiful camel spin for that solo spin. Really unique positions, great speed throughout. When I talked to Stella, you know, she mentioned that she loves this program. She loves the intensity of the music and how big it is. And I think it's such a big, bold choice for her first nationals, or first Big Kid Nationals, right?
Stella Vajda, out of Detroit Skating Club, qualified as a novice this season. The top novices able to come and compete at the U.S. Championships in the junior division, so making a big jump up to compete here. And aside from that one error, good skate for her.
Yeah, unfortunately in the short program, a double axel, missing that is a very costly mistake. I know it all too well. I made a career out of it. But yeah, the jump from novice to junior, and in such a short amount of time, the rules are a little bit different. You can have 10 seconds longer in a junior program, gotta skate longer, as well as the solo jump in junior is required. So all of the women that we're gonna see compete today will have to do a double or a triple loop. To be the most competitive, we're looking for a triple loop. There's also the other solo spin has to be the flying sit spin. And every year with junior, the required solo jump and required flying spin will rotate. So it alternates between flying sit and flying camel, and it alternates between loop, flip, and lutz. So in novice, you get a little bit more freedom to choose. You get some of that freedom back in senior, but much like as we mentioned in pairs, there's a certain rigidity to a junior short program.
So there's a strategy, though, for novice competitors who think they may end up in that position. They may plan their novice program to be as close to the junior as possible. And here are the scores for Stella Vajda, a 42.46 as she starts off this event. So taking the ice now, Candice Leong. She trains in San Jose, California. And she also is qualified as a novice.
And a fall on the triplets. Supposed to be her combination, triplets double toe. Opting to also do a double loop, I think in this case with the fall at the beginning. Great choice. Here's that required spin, flying sit spin in junior. I'm getting speed now for her last jump, which is double axel. And required of everyone. And very nice, very well executed. She has exceptionally centered spins, and I think it was such a great choice to end with two spins. You can see her tracings on the ice, especially that camel spin, spun really just in exactly the same place. It's very difficult to do, and it's one of those things the judges are looking at when giving GOE that grade of execution. With spins, they're looking for clear and positions that look easy to do, not labored, and speed. Once you check those boxes, being centered, creativity, the way that she spun when the music swelled, that's a really great way for her specifically to get points. I thought that her spins were beautiful. Obviously, the fall on the opening triplets is not what she wanted.
Yeah, it's such a tough way to start. Here it is right here. That opening Lutz. Really beautiful quality to her skating. She had a soft, smooth knee action. And as you said, opting for that double loop. That double axel showing how she was the #2 novice skater at the final leading up to this event. And here is the score for Candice Leong, 40.63, putting her into second place. So now, getting some last words of encouragement from her coach, Deborah Liu, from the Skating Club of Boston.
She said that her goal is to do her job and enjoy every moment. She's a firecracker. She will do anything to achieve her goals, and I think this program and this opening combo will hopefully show that. Triple toe, triple toe. And here's her plans for a triple loop. Let's see. Negative GUE on the landing with that turnout, but we found our foot. There's still some points going into the bank today.
Well, she's got me dancing.
And here's her last jumping pass, the double axel. Very nice.
Deborah Liu, 12 years old, trains at the Skating Club of Boston, and yes, look at firecracker, so much energy. Her performance was, it really drew me in. I was loving that.
Yes, she's a tiny thing with a big personality. Firework is definitely the way that I would describe her. And, you know, her coaches said that she is such a hard worker. She doesn't waste a single moment on the ice, and you could really tell. Clearly, this has been a very practiced program that she works really hard at. And, yeah, they said that she goes after what she wants to accomplish her goals, and you can tell she's put a lot of work in.
Yeah, you can tell when people are that well trained because they have the extra bandwidth to put all that extra you know, the zhuzh into their facial expression, into the dance of it. She wasn't just out there worried about her jump. She was really skating all the way through.
And a difficult fun exit on that double axel. Here's the cartwheel. Love those.
And here is the score for Deborah Liu, 54.19 into first place. She cha-cha'd her way to the top of the leaderboard.
She did. That's a great score, especially as a novice. Has a month to train to compete in junior. I think that's absolutely the best that she was hoping for.
So now taking the ice, Madison Chong.
Also is going to open up with a triple toe combination. Very nice. Jumping past double axel.
Yeah.
Aww. Love that big smile on the end of her double axel.
The relief, the jumps are over.
Love the upright on that big swell and music. I think the minute she's doing her layback spin right now, for those that watch figure skating on and off or just part-time, you'll notice a lot less laybacks in the short program. There's now an option to do a camel spin. She kept it traditional, and look how happy she is.
Beautiful performance from Madison Chong.
Madison Chong.
Out of the Washington, D.C. area, she's coached by Tatiana Malinina and Roman Skornyakov, the parents and coaches of Ilya Malinin. So clearly she has a lot of great jumping technique all around her every day.
Yeah, and she won the Eastern Sectional Single File Final, the qualifying event to get her ticket to Nationals, and you can absolutely see why. Yeah, and here's that triple toe combination. and really great distance on that. Triple toes have the opportunity to get more distance than other jumps do, in my opinion, and you can really see that. As opposed to here, triple loop is going to go up more than across, but if you saw the distance, she went almost board to board, it seemed like, on her triple toe combo. And great height on her double axel. You can see as she jumps over that blue line, you can actually see on the ice the distance that she gets.
Yeah, jumping about the length of a Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Great reaction there at the end. Such a wonderful experience to be here at the U.S. Championships. Technical panel still reviewing all of those elements. Some of these athletes tend to under-rotate their jumps. She does not look like one who you'd be too worried about for that. And here is the score for Madison Chong. 54.69, putting her into first place. Job well done.
Let's welcome Annabelle Wilkins.
And now taking center ice for the next skater. This is Annabelle Wilkins, training in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
She's also going to open up with a triple toe combination, carrying some pretty good speed in. Oh. And if you could see just off axis on that second triple toe, pulling to the side instead of being straight up and down. The first triple toe was really beautiful. I thought she had it.
Yeah, a lot of height.
Her next jumping pass is triple loop, the required jump. And in a short program especially, these mistakes are devastating, right? There's only 3 jumping passes, 3 spins, and a step.
It can be so hard to reset the mental component after a mistake like that first fall.
I find especially in the short program as well, you know, to open with a fall, you're already starting off what you feel like is at the deficit, and you already start off a bit disappointed. Then there's that extra pressure of not only do I have to land my other jumps, it's almost a feeling of I have to make them extra somehow. But here's her third jumping pass, skates into double axel. Very nice. And that's where you can really see training come through. It doesn't always kick in exactly when we want it, but it'll kick in a program, and being able to regroup and get the double axel, those are the mistakes that can help keep you at least in the middle of the pack instead of all the way at the bottom. Love that her camel accelerated in speed. I think that was a great spin to end with. I always tell athletes, you know, and skaters, you should end with your best spin. I promise you, it is so nice for the people watching to end with a fast, centered spin. Yeah, even if the other ones take a little more effort, you don't want them early in the program, like, you know, let's end with a bang. And that was such a cool, interesting spin for such a cool, interesting program.
And it leaves the audience of the judges with that in their mind. Now, Unfortunately, they won't be able to forget the mistakes on the jump. So not the best skate for Annabelle Wilkins, not what she was looking for here at the U.S. Championships. Let's take a look at those jumping passes here in the replay.
And this opening triple toe, as we see that second toe here, see how it just stays in the air a bit left towards the U.S. figure skating sign, and we always want to keep jumping the way they were skating.
Kind of turn the corner there right before the boards.
And here's the biggest mistake here for me in the program was the single loop is actually going to cost more points than the fall. You know, you'd much rather fall on a clean, even slightly understated triple than to just do a big single jump, which in a short program is literally 0 points.
Yeah.
So at least with the fall on the triple toe, she's still getting some points. As I always say, there's still some money going into the bank. You know, but she had beautiful double axel, and again, I loved the spin for her at the end of the program. So there's still lots of good things going for her, but definitely not the skate that she wanted.
Yeah, a lot of good quality in her skating skills, interesting choreography in the program. And then, yeah, as you've said, in the short program, it's all about execution. You have to do the technical side. That's the only way to do it. And here is the score for Annabelle Wilkins. In the short program, she has earned 45.30 into third place. And the last skater in this group. Some last words of encouragement from Olga Ganicheva. It is Mia Iwase out of the Skating Club of Boston in Norwood, Massachusetts. Going to open with her solo jump, triple loop, instead of her triple combination. A little bit different than some of the other skaters. Very nice, a little hesitant into it, a little bit slower than some of the other skaters we've seen so far, but very well executed. And here's her big triple combination. Oh, no. Oh!
Oh.
Man.
And sometimes the unexpected happens, and that was unexpected, I think, for all of us. And here's her third jumping pass coming up with double axel. Okay.
Good for her.
Mia has some of the most interesting spins, I would say. Really great positions. They're really clear. A lot of them are unique. And she loves this program, which is why that fall so surprising and unfortunate. It's really special. Her choreographer, Philip Chang, created this unique program for her based off of a Louis Vuitton runways show. So it's bold, original, and she said it's unlike anything else. And it is. I think there's a level of refinement and maturity in her skating way beyond her years.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's doing a lot of very intricate, detailed choreography, edge work there, that forward outside counter. Great vehicle for her.
And her movement is so refined, especially for somebody so young. I'd love to see her work on her speed a bit. But again, very clear position. She was so clearly started in the camel, upright, into the sit spin, into her upright position.
Well, a rough skate here for Mia Iwase. Hopefully she didn't hurt herself. That was a really hard fall. And as you said, unexpected out of the popped triple toe.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And I've taken those falls that are similar where all of a sudden you are up in the air and you are not up and down but rather parallel to the ice, and there's just a moment right before you smack. You know it's happening, and yet we can't change the outcome. It's unfortunate to get up though and do the rest of the program pretty unaffected. I think that's really, after that fall, certainly more than I think a lot of us would do. Yeah, here it is on the replay again. Yeah, single toe, and then, right on the hip. And struggled a little bit on the landing of this, but ultimately, almost overdid a double axel. But, you know, she stayed on one foot, and sometimes that is what we can hope for. And there's plenty of events where that will win.
Yeah, showing her grit there. Mental fortitude, getting back on track. And then the rest of that program was really beautiful. Interesting, well skated. I agree with you, more speed would be where she wants to go.
But as you said, I think it's a great vessel for her. I think it really showcases, I mean, just the intricacy of the movements is something that not a lot of, even the higher level skaters, even some in championship, I've had programs that were less intricate than that.
And there her team, Olga Ganicheva, Alexei Leitov, great coaches out of the Skating Club of Boston. And as Mia is waiting for her scores, we have the second group on the ice already warming up. And here come Mia's scores. 43.65 into fourth place for Mia Iwase here in the junior women's short program to round out that first group. Well, so here are the standings after Group 1. Madison Chong in first place. Deborah Liu and Annabelle Wilkins rounding out that top three. And Mia Iwase, even with that crazy fall, sitting in fourth place currently. As Group 2 takes the ice for their 6-minute warm-up. Boy, yeah, I don't know how you come back from that fall. She was so quick right into her spin. Ooh.
Yeah, and to miss the combination, I mean, in some ways that's the crown jewel of the short program, is just tough and just so disappointing. She seemed surprised that she had popped it into a single and then to end up on the ice. I mean, just not the way you never want to perform like that, but certainly at the U.S. Championships. So hopefully she can recover and she can skate the long program like she has been all season.
And showing it's probably better to pull in and go for all that rotation, at least get some base value points, as opposed to popping, and then of course this being kind of worst case scenario, pop and the fall.
Especially if you can get all 3 revolutions, or 4, depending on, but if you can get the full rotation of the jump, right? A lot of skaters you'll hear might struggle with under rotations or downgrades, and that's when they don't complete all of the rotation in the air, but rather the last, half more or less on the ice. Ideally, every skater comes down on every jump perfectly backwards. There's no movement of that blade. Especially if you can get all the way around, you always want to pull in. It's still worth more points, even though it is a fall, in, I'll say 90%, but certainly in a short program, especially in some of the later groups, to fall on a clean triplets, triple toe, clean being the key word, but to fall on that is still worth more points, even with the -1 deduction for the fall, than doing a triplets double toe.
Wow, yeah. And especially here, if you pop to a single and you get 0 versus pop to a double, you at least get some base value.
You can have something to work with, but a single is just a single. for that solo jump spot, and everyone's required to do double axel, so you are much better off pulling in on that double axel, even if you fall, than a big single is a big nothing. Point-wise, it's definitely going to drop her. It's definitely lower than what she's capable of, but let's see what this next warm-up has to offer. Well, first in the warm-up is Mia Smith. She is another one of our novices competing at junior. She was first in the Midwestern Sectionals singles final, again at the novice level. So she's had, just about a month to change and essentially skate up a level. A lot of times they have to change their solo jump. As we said, it's required to be loop for junior, but in novice it could be whatever they wanted. They have to make sure they have a flying sit spin in there. Music can be longer if they would like to. It's really a big change right at the end of the season, but still fun to be competing here for her.
I have choreographed some novice free skates or short programs, and we have on purpose, strategically put the same jumps and elements that are in the junior required elements list, just so that if they are in that position, they don't have to make the changes. It's less changes, still some change with the length and everything, but boy, that's a lot to work totally new elements a month before.
And that's smart in some cases. I mean, when I was novice, I would have had a difficult time. I didn't know how to do loop yet, so I could do all of my triples, but loop was the only one I didn't competed. So, that I didn't compete. So if somebody threw a loop in my program, I could do triple flip or triplets all day. But I would be one of those skaters that probably have to do a double loop. Or I might have sent it for a triple, but it wouldn't have been good.
Right, and then you need the triple so that you can be in the position to skate up to the junior level. Absolutely, wow. Challenging sport, this figure skating. All right, well, group number 2 has finished their warm-up, and they're getting off the ice.
She's here competing on behalf of the Detroit Skating Club. Let's welcome now Mia Smith.
So now taking the ice to start off this group 2, Mia Smith from the Detroit Skating Club in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Incredible flexibility in that last position. Mia Smith, she was first place at the novice Midwestern sectional qualifier for this event, and she cites Japanese world champion Kaori Sakamoto as her primary inspiration and loves how Sakamoto always looks like she's having so much fun when she performs. She's certainly brought a lot of energy today.
Oh, yeah, and I think that she should be very happy with that skate. It's very, I mean, clean, really no negative notes on it in a good way. Here on the review is her triple flip into that triple toe loop combination. I wouldn't be shocked if the judging panel reviewed her triple jump, or I don't know if I would now based on that on the Jumbotron, but live, when we say, you know, for the judges to review it, we mean it goes into their where they get to watch it in slow motion, and I actually might review that as well.
Yeah.
I was like, I know there were 2 jumps, to see if she finished all of the rotation in the air or if she finished some of it on the ice, which is a reduction in points if that happens.
And the way that that works for the tech panel, they are in real time watching, and they speak into their headsets. They identify what the element is. They might say triple toe. And if any other panel member, there's 2 technical specialists and a technical controller, if one of those 2 have a question, they will just simply say review. So then it's marked by the data operator for review, who then will put that into the replay. And here is the score for Mia Smith, a 52.88, putting her in 3rd place. And she looks a little surprised. So now taking the ice, representing the Glacier Falls Figure Skating Club, Hannah Kim.
Love the speed into and out of that triple flip, triple toe. As we see some of the maturity and skill level go up with the juniors, something to look out for is the speed and in which they cover the ice and how much ice that they cover. So just flying into that flip toe, same speed out, right into that double axel. Again, maintaining speed throughout the jump is definitely something that the judges are looking for when giving those extra bonus points, that GOE.
Also for her component scores, the skating skill score, the transition score, all of those factor in with what we just saw.
And she skates now into her 3rd and final jump, her triple loop. Nice. She should be very happy with that. Yeah, and there she even starts to pick up some speed as that step sequence goes on. Sort of upping the ante and into that cantilever.
Nice.
Yeah, these aren't things that are just nice to watch, but they Yeah, they add to that program component. They add to the GOE on the step sequence.
Hannah Kim lays down a clean skate here in the junior women's short program. Yeah, and it's clean and there's extra. All the stuff you're just talking about, it's not just doing a step sequence. She's doing an extra step sequence. It's really exciting to watch.
And it's just a little more money in the bank for every single thing that she does. It's those little cents here and there that add up. And she should be so happy with that. That was such a wonderful skate for her. And she's a returning national competitor for junior. She was 9th last year. She was looking to improve upon that coming into this event, and even with just that short program, she definitely could. That was a great start to this event for her.
Look at that speed into this combination.
It's definitely one of the things that separates her from, you know, some of the, especially the novices in the other flight and some of the younger juniors or less experienced, is just a sense of like cadence and tempo also throughout the program. She was almost too casual going into that flip toe for me. I was shocked to see it work out so well, but in such a great way.
There, oh, it's so good. Adding that body movement off axis
and just so nonchalant with it. Like, okay, let me drop into a cantilever right here.
Young knees. And here is the score for Hannah Kim, a 62.19 into first place easily. Bravo, well done.
Here is Penelope Ogorelkoff.
And now taking the ice from Palm Beach Figure Skating Club, it's Penelope Ogorelkoff.
She's another skater that's going to open with the required solo jump triple loop. A very nice start. And there's our triple toe, so big combination. Oh. Fall on that first triple toe loop, unable to get the second one off, of course.
Looked like she was right there.
She has one jumping pass left, wired at double axel. Very nice. I'd like to see a little more finish from her, and I know that she's capable of it, but even with that double axel, it felt a bit plain. I guess it kind of almost took me out of the performance. I know that there is more from her. It felt just a little bit flat on some of the landings and some of the moments. I know it's hard with a fall on your big combination, but it feels a little reserved, and I know there's definitely, she's capable of so much more.
Penelope Ogorelkoff, 13 years old, from Parkland, Florida, and just losing a little steam there at the end, showing, I think, some of her youth, not quite being able to keep herself in that character after the mistake.
And of course that comes with time, but she's, you know, she's just capable of so much more. She was second at Eastern Sectionals, again, another novice, so of course just forced to skate up at junior. But she was second at her national qualifying events earlier this year, so, you know, it's the series that kind of starts off, they run August through October, they kind of start off the annual competitive season. So she's had lots of good performances, you know, of course, second place, it's only one place better, but just not her day today, and just so much more room for growth. Yeah, we can see here on the landing, like such a lovely double axel and just a bit, she landed as if she was telling us in the audience that it was fine, and I want her to tell us, look at my beautiful double axel.
That was really cool, a split loop jump.
Right into her flying spin and a butterfly, I think was great.
Yeah, there was a deflated quality about the performance after she had the fall, and that's so hard. I mean, I don't know, what do you tell yourself to spur it back in and keep going? What did you tell yourself?
I mean, nothing I should say on here.
Yeah, not safe for air.
But no, I told myself that I had to be extra now because I had already made a mistake, that I couldn't just be regular, that everything else I did from here on out had to be not just perfect, but like the best the world has ever seen to make up for it. It is so easy, though, to feel that deflation, and that happens sometimes.
Well, she has a lot of exciting years ahead of her here in this sport. Her first time competing at the Junior U.S. Championships. As you said, competing as a novice all season. And she'll have another chance tomorrow to show everybody what she can do in her free skate, as we just wait for those scores to finally be finalized in the system. And here they come. And the score for Penelope Ogorelkoff, 40.71, putting her in 8th place in this short program.
She's on the ice and representing the DuPage Figure Skating Club. Please welcome Jiaying Elyse Johnson.
So taking the ice now, Jiaying Elyse Johnson out of Port Barrington, Illinois.
And this short program is really special to her. It's dedicated to all of the friends that she lost in the plane crash last year, almost exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
You gave me a forever, and for that I am eternally grateful.
And she opens with double axel. Really beautiful. She's getting big speed now for her next jumping pass. Just triple toe loop, triple toe loop. She was, I believe, going for her triplets, triple toe. She's really struggled with injuries, especially in the fall. It's been really hard for her. You know, certainly qualifying was really what she was going for, and that was really the best that she could hope for, and she just wants to skate well here. But still trying the triplets is absolutely something I would do. I made a whole career of it. there's so many beautiful qualities about her skating, but just a tough go today.
Yeah, not the skate that Jiaying Elyse Johnson was looking for here at this U.S. Championships. But gorgeous program. That step sequence at the end was mesmerizing and kind of devastating too. Really feel the emotion coming through in her skating.
You know, there's some days that must happen to you and some skates, but always tough when it does. And you know, she had the reduced technical content most of the fall because of her injuries. So, you know, in some ways really brave to make the choice here in the short program at the U.S. Championships to go for that triple Lutz. That was her first pop. But in the replay, beautiful double axel to open. You know, she's capable of such great lines and extensions on those landings. But yeah, here's the going for the triple Lutz and just the timing's off.
And she had so much speed going into that setup.
And she's had some struggles with her loop, particularly in this program, like throughout the season. It just has truly been the definition of hit or miss. And it's hard when you miss both in a short program with 3 jumping passes, but you know, she was 7th at this event last year, and so she will have to do a lot of good work in the free skates if she wants to get back up to that position.
Well, I'm sure she's up for the challenge, working hard like everybody here to be ready for this event. And here are the scores for Jiaying Elyse Johnson in the short program. 38.29, putting her into 10th place.
Representing the Glacier Falls Figure Skating Club, let's welcome now Alayna Coats.
Well, next, taking the ice, Alayna Coats from the Glacier Falls Figure Skating Club in Lakewood, California. She was the silver medalist at the Pacific Coast Sectional Championships. Bringing a little 90s flair.
And here's her triple toe combination. And just, it's killing the group today. Lots of struggles on that combo specifically. All right, here's her triple loop.
There you go.
Good recovery. I might review, but for her, she needs a landing and she needs it to be a triple loop. She has one of my favorite flying sits of the group. Whenever you have a flying spin, especially the sit spin, you are looking from the moment they have that big jump on the flying part to get down into that sit spin as quickly as possible in as few rotations as possible. Some of the skaters will spin for a bit of time before getting all the way down into that sit spin, and she lands just like a cat. And she skates now into this third jumping pass, double axel. Very nice. I feel like she could give us a little more on her landings. She gives us so much during the rest of the program.
Yeah, she's focused on all the dance moves. All the leaning and dropping of her upper body It looks great choreographically, and it also gains her points as one of the features for a level 4 step sequence. Doing it really well.
Yeah, and it needs to be woven throughout, which hers is, start to finish. And here's this final combination spin. The combination spin that changes feet and position is actually worth more if you can get a level 4 on it. A level 4 combo spin is worth more than a double axel. So, you know, pointing out who has good spins or not, they're worth a lot of points. And she had some pretty nice ones. We'll see, of course, what the tech panel has to say.
Alayna Coats. Yeah, really bringing the energy, the dance moves. I was grooving along. We heard a lot of that song in the junior rhythm dance.
Oh, of course.
Ice dance event. A good 90s dance classic, and she used it really well.
I mean, she's a woman of taste. I see the hot pink. I see the high bun. I expect nothing less from her. And on the replay, we saw the fall on that toe, but here's the triple loop again. And that double axel.
And here's where you want more landing, yeah?
I mean, just for the amount of upper body movement that she can get, like the sass, the attitude. I mean, again, the heart cutout on the back of her hot pink dress. I just thought the landing was a little, like plain Jane. It was a little stiff. You know, I appreciated that she, you know, held it for so long. That's one of those things that adds to the GOE that we love watching, but it just was the loop and axel landing were some of the only moments of the program that felt flat, and she's not a flat girl.
Not at all. And here is the score for Alayna Coats, 46.43 into 5th place, and certainly feeling the impact of that opening fall.
Yeah, a lot of the skaters are. We will see, though.
Taking the ice now, Cleo Park from the Glacier Falls Figure Skating Club. She's certainly been one to watch at this event.
Maneuver right into the double axel. Very difficult, really beautiful. And she skates now into her triple combination. She will be doing a triple sow, triple toe. I think the only one in the group. And lands it. I might review both of those jumps, but we have something in the system as a triple. Here's her third and final jumping pass. Definitely we'll get a review on that. I don't believe she got all of the rotation done in the air. I think some of that was on the landing. But aesthetically, a nice jump to watch.
A lot of distance.
You should great flow in and out. And a beautiful combination spin. That's probably one of my favorite from the event so far. really clear, clean spin positions. I think spins are one of her biggest strengths. Absolutely. That's a place where she can get a lot of points and a lot of extra points from the GOE.
Cleo Park really bringing it today.
She was 12th last year at this event, and I think that was a great way to start climbing up the rankings.
Coach Christopher Pottinger. She really has more of that maturity in her skating and her performance.
And she was excited about the short program, right, to Moonlight Sonata Dajo. And she says that it allows her to explore a dramatic, intense, and almost aggressive style, which is a bold change to what she normally skates to, which is softer, more lyrical music, which is what her free skate's going to be. But she was really excited to try something new, spread her wings a bit with the short program. And I think it's a really good vessel. Definitely going to get some minuses and a reduction on that loop. If you look closely, if it was in, you guys want to slow-mo it at home, just a big chunk of that last part of the rotation was done on the ice, and that's what the judges are looking for. But this combination spin, so beautiful. And right down into the sit spin with a a jump between, third time's a charm, a jump within a spin.
A dream within a dream. Here is the score for Cleo Park, 51.43, putting her into 5th place.
And I think that score is reflective of some of those under rotations, some of those downgrades she might have even gotten. So she's losing some points, she's losing some GOE. It's mandatory to remove some GOE on those jumps, but I think she makes it up in a lot of other ways. I think there's a lot of beautiful aspects of her skating.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing her lyrical free skate tomorrow. Here are the standings after the second group of women here in the junior women's short program at the 2026 Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Hannah Kim out in the lead. Madison Chong, second place. Deborah Liu in that 3rd spot. So
the firecracker.
The firecracker, yes. So the ice crew is coming out to fill holes, and the Zamboni will come out to do a quick ice resurface. We will be back shortly with Group 3 in the women's junior short program.
I'm excited.
Stick around.
Oh, oh my God, we're starting out so hard.
If you had to pick a theme song for your life, what would it be?
I have to say Promised by Leve. I think it fits my life pretty well.
What's your favorite skating costume you have ever worn?
Definitely the 2 from this season, yeah.
What's been your proudest moment on ice this year?
My proudest moment on the ice is doing a really good, clean free skate. Yeah, nothing can beat that.
Who's been the biggest influence on your skating career?
Oh, my family, my siblings, in ways they didn't know. In ways they didn't expect to, and I don't think I did either. I think my choice to step away from skating, they had a big influence on that, and getting back into it, they also helped me go through that process. So yeah, I owe it to them.
What's something about figure skating that people might not realize?
That we're always cold and we get really dizzy.
What's the most unexpected lesson that skating has taught you?
To feel but don't dwell.
If you could time travel to any era for a figure skating competition, when would it be?
Oh, any? I think I'd want to watch Scott Hamilton's performance at Olympics.
If you had to describe your skating personality in 3 words, what would they be?
I'd say spontaneous, free, and ecstatic.
Figure skating. It's one of the most beautiful and athletic sports at the Winter Olympics. But what's actually happening out there? There are 4 events: men's singles, women's singles, pairs, and ice dance. Singles focus on jumps and spins, pairs add lifts and throws. Think gymnastics on ice. In ice dance, it's rhythm, footwork, and storytelling. Basically, ballroom dancing on skates. Each skater performs 2 routines, the short program and the free skate, combining technical moves with artistry. Points from both performances are combined for a total score where gold, silver, and bronze medals are decided. Jumps earn points for difficulty, spins and steps show control. And yes, judges score both the athleticism or technical element score and the artistry, known as components, where composition, presentation, and skating skills are graded. It's power, precision, and performance, all on ice. That's this week's Figure Skating 101. See you next week.
We're off to a good start.
Hi everyone, my name is Brady Tennell, and I am about to try to design my very own trading pin. I cannot draw to save my life, so this should be pretty interesting. My very own trading pin, that means I can make it whatever I want. Okay, I have a vague idea of what I want. This is good, this is progress.
It's all just vibes.
Why am I forgetting what order the Olympic ring colors are in?
On your shirt.
Wow, I'm so smart. Actually, that's really funny. Now, the bigger challenge is going to be me actually being able to draw the Olympic rings, because I don't think I've ever drawn a successful, great circle and this upside down. You said I have 3 minutes to do this? That's not enough time. What? Excuse me? The big reveal. 3 minutes to do that. Woo! I'm so proud. Okay, so in 2018, my family had somebody made us shirts that said Team Tennell. So I kind of hijacked that little phrase. And obviously my proportions are off. This was supposed to fill in all of this space, but this is the Olympic rings. And this is, it just says Milan 2026 because that's obviously where the Olympics are. We need another couple of drafts, and then I think it'll be ready to go into production. So, very good friend with a master's in fine arts would be so proud of me.
He's on you, bro. It's a drag race. Lighter. They are lighter. You'll probably feel it. Nice. Oh, come on, triple. No way. Stop. No. Oh, that's the landing right there. Yeah, that's right. New boots, new blades, and you just did single axle, double axle, triple axle.
Welcome back to another episode of Skating 101. To this point, we've covered the basics and the jumps. In week 1, we touched a little on the scoring of programs, so let's dive a little deeper into that. This is the kiss and cry, where skaters receive their scores and where some of the greatest reactions are born. But how do we get to those everlasting moments? Skaters are judged on 2 different parts of a program, the technical score and the program component score. Today, let's focus on the technical score. Every required element of the short program, free skate, rhythm dance, and free dance is assigned a base value. Base values of all recognized elements are published annually by the ISU in the Scale of Value chart. The base value of the elements depends on the number of rotations for jumps or the assigned level of difficulty for elements like spins, steps, lifts, twists, twizzles, throws, and more. Next is the grade of execution. Simply put, it's how well the element is executed. During a performance, the technical panel identifies an element and its grade of execution on a 10-point scale, ranging from 5 to -5. The final grade of execution is the average of all 9 scoring judges' marks. The final score of the element is a combination of the base score and the grade of execution score. And that's all for Skating 101 this week. Next week, we'll dive into how the component score and final score of the entire program is achieved. See you next week.
I mean, when I first stepped back on, I couldn't even do 2 jumps back to back without taking a 10-minute break. I trained really hard on my stamina. It took me a while to build up my programs, to get the choreography memorized, to get my jumps and spins to a good quality, I guess, in my programs. And I mean, man, me and my team, we've been going at it like 6 days a week since June, and we never stopped. We took every competition that we could get, and we always stayed optimistic. I stayed very goal-oriented for myself. I never let my mind slip away or get distracted by medals or podium and just results. I stayed very much program focused. Just to do my best in my programs and to perform a great show for everybody. And I think that's how I got to this point.
Welcome back to another week of Figure Skating 101. Last week we went over the basics of the sport. Now let's dive into one of the most exciting elements in figure skating, the jumps. There are 6 different kinds of jumps in figure skating: the loop, the salchow, the lutz, the flip, the toe loop, and the axel. Each jump is differentiated by the method of takeoff and landing. But today, let's talk about the most iconic of them all, the axel. Now, let's go way back. In 1882, Norwegian figure skater Axel Paulsen landed the first jump in competition, a single axel. Since then, skaters have progressed from doubles to triples and now even quad jumps, 4 spins in the air. Figure skating enthusiast or not, odds are you've heard of the triple axel. First landed by Canada's Vern Taylor in 1978 for men, and Japan's Midori Ito in 1988 for women, it remains a key element of many programs for both men and women to this day. American figure skater Ilya Malinin has recently taken the sport to new heights by doing what some once considered to be impossible, a quad axel. He first landed it at the U.S. International Figure Skating Classic in 2022, and it remains a staple element in many of his programs today, along with other quad jumps. So, what makes the axel so hard? It's one of 4 jumps where the skater takes off from the outside edge. However, it's the only jump that takes off with the skater moving forward and lands with the skater backwards. And that's all for Skating 101 this week. Keep an eye out for some triple and even quad axels out there at Skate Canada this weekend. See you next week! Oh, and did we mention backflips are legal now?
I mean, when I first stepped back on, I couldn't even do 2 jumps back to back without taking a 10-minute break. I trained really hard on my stamina. It took me a while to build up my programs, to get the choreography memorized, to get my jumps and spins to a good quality, I guess, in my programs. And I mean, man, me and my team, we've been going at it like 6 days a week since June, and we never stopped. We took every competition that we could get, and we always stayed optimistic. I stayed very goal-oriented for myself. I never let my mind slip away or get distracted by medals or podium and just results. I stayed very much program focused, just to do my best in my programs and to perform a great show for everybody. And I think that's how I got to this point.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the final group of the Women's Junior Short Program here at the 2026 Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm Ben Augusto, and with me is Gracie Gold. And Gracie, we have seen 2 very exciting groups of women here. A lot of, I don't know, as you said earlier, it's a lot of hit and miss here.
Oh, absolutely. Lots of struggles on the 3-3 combos. Not as many clean skates as I was expecting, and certainly not as many as the athletes were hoping for. But I'm really excited for this final flight. We have a pretty great group of skaters here.
Yeah, Group 3 here on the ice, warming up, and a lot of, just a lot of talent. And as we talked about at the top of the show, so many skaters who are very kind of similar ability. And so it could end up in any sort of permutation just based on what everybody delivers here today. And so who are you looking for in this group? What are you really excited about in this last group?
Well, I'm, of course, really excited for Kaia, Kaia Tiernan, my old training mates. We skated at Iceworks together in Aston, Pennsylvania. And so to see her, grow into now competing at junior women, and my last 2 coaches, Alex and Pasha, of course, at the boards. Even her jump layout, I've skated this pretty similar jump layout myself. So, just so cool to see someone. I remember when she was just had to learn to skate, and now she's here.
So she'll be skating second in this last group.
Yeah, and of course, the last skater in this event is Anika Chao, and this is her 3rd year at junior. 2024 and 2025 U.S. Figure Skating Championships. She was 5th both times, and so this is kind of a redemption year for her. Her free program, which we'll see tomorrow, she wanted to skate to the minute she heard it. It's a bit of a redemption song for her. So she's not just looking to break that 5th place spell, but to end up on the podium. That's her big goal for this season. And I definitely think it's possible. There's lots of nice stuff about her skating. Also in this warm-up, we have Jessica Jurka, and she has started landing her triple axel again. She landed it for the first time, I want to say 2 seasons ago. Last season it was a little bit hit or miss, but she's been landing it again. She trains in Colorado Springs. A lot of the top athletes. The reigning U.S. champion Amber Glenn is there. And she is the only returning medalist. So she was bronze last year at the same events. And she's looking to certainly stay on the podium, if not capture the title.
What about Angela Shao?
Oh, lots of great things for her as well. She's won, again, this last group, depending on who skates clean. They really named clean, almost perfect programs today and tomorrow. And whoever does that will be the champion. Very similar program content, and Angela is just one of those as well. She had a really great, she was Midwestern sectional champion coming into this event. That's how she qualified. She had a junior Grand Prix event, so that international fall Grand Prix series on the junior. She was 6th at that, so not her best, but she was 1st at some of her summer events. She was 6th place last year, and she's one that I think is a definite podium contender.
Well, lots to look forward to in this last group. They are in their final minute of warm-up, and I mean, clean is the name of the game, right? The short program, only 3 jumping passes, no room for error. What did you tell yourself when you were in your opening position to help, I don't know, clear your mind? It seems like mental clutter is the enemy of a clean skate, and the worst thing you can probably do is think, don't fall.
Well, Ben, I made a whole career out of tanking short programs and then coming back and winning the free program. You know, America loves a comeback story, and
yes, we do.
Made a career out of it. So as far as removing the mental clutter, I know more about that in the free program, but for me, the hardest part is the short program. A lot of people, I think, might think it's easier because there's only 3 jumping passes, but for me, and I think a lot of other athletes, you know, there's only 3 jumping passes.
Right, you don't have any other opportunities.
Yeah, you have to hit it or not, and it's, even one mistake, and you already, now I'm out of the last warm-up, now I'm lower. The mental clutter and just the stress of it. But it's all about precision, right? This is what replaced figures, just the tracings on the ice, right? And so the short program in some ways carries some of the same stress that I've heard about. I'm not quite that old. Haven't done figures old, but
really looking for perfection in that discipline. Well, it is time for the last group in the women's junior short program, and taking the ice from Simi Valley, California, Rachel Samiri.
think they've done a great job with her program composition and the layout in terms of showcasing some things that are really unique to her, like her spins. So I think opening and ending with those two particularly strong spins with unique positions. Things that make her spins great are she keeps the speed up. She even increases the speed depending on that difficult variation. But how quickly she can change position is something, and the clarity of position and how it just looks so effortless. I think opening with that layback, closing with the combination spin, on the swell of the music, those are things that are really great for her and great to highlight and showcase in a program. And I think they did that really well with this short program specifically.
Well, she's had a good season. She was 8th place at a Junior Grand Prix in the United Arab Emirates, and then she was 2nd place at the Robin Cousins Cup. So some great international experience so far this season, and you can really see her experience and her ability. I mean, the way she skates and her speed and the way she attacked that step sequence. That combination was beautiful. Here I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, what a difficult entrance.
And she's on the left foot on that spiral. She's still on, and she takes off on it and just misses the toe pick. See how that left blade skated forward and that body weight just stayed back inside the circle? You want to follow that free leg into the air because it's the leg you're going to land on. But great recovery there with that triple loop.
Yeah, and her spins. Little heel feature.
Right into that camel side or that donut, into another really cool, interesting upright.
Kind of a pretzel-y layback, unique position.
Yeah, she has some pretzel spins for sure.
Wow, well, big hi to everybody at home. She certainly has a lot of talent and puts in a ton of hard work. We'll look forward to see what she has for us in the free skate as we wait for the scores from the judging panel. It's a long wait these days.
Yeah, and depending on what element they're reviewing, the spins can take a long time to review, especially in slow motion.
And here come the scores for Rachel Samiri. 50.67, putting her into 6th place in this short program.
Representing ice.
Here you go, Gracie.
Here she is. She's not baby Kaia anymore.
Not baby Kaia. Representing Iceworks Skating Club, it's Kaia Tiernan taking the ice for her short program. Kaia Tiernan from the Iceworks Skating Club, trains in Aston, Pennsylvania, with her short program here. Beautiful to watch.
And I really love the simplicity of it, but simple in the way that doesn't mean easy to do, but
it's understated.
Yes, very understated. I think in a lot of other programs, even within her spins versus other spins, you know, you'll see lots of changes of position, lots of jumps, and we're flipping this way and that way. And Kaia really goes the opposite. Even her final combination spin had a very clear camel, a very traditional actually backsit position, an upright, and she was out. And yet another victim to the triple toe loop today. But here's her triple loop. Nice and clean. You can see that blade come down perfectly backwards. And here's that floaty death drop you mentioned.
Yeah, again, it looked effortless, and clearly she had a lot of power to create that float.
And here's that traditional back sit up into that K spin or that difficult upright.
Yeah, so the triple claiming another victim here.
And specifically that triple toe is just,
And that's the name of the game in this sport, right? You gotta pull in, and then you gotta land on one foot if you want to win. Here is the score for Kaia Tiernan in her short program, 50.86, putting her in 6th place.
Represents the Washington Figure Skating Club. Here is Sophia Beskorovainaya.
And now taking the ice, Sophia Beskorovainaya from the Washington Figure Skating Club. She trains in Reston, Virginia for her short program.
Sophia opens this big triple edge, triple toe combination. Very well done.
She tamed the beast.
She did, and she struggled in the past with, you know, reviewing those under rotations or downgrades on those, so we'll see what the judges think today. All right, here's her triple loop. Very nice. And she skates now into her double axel, the third jumping pass. And 3 for 3.
performance from Sophia Beskorovainaya. Beautiful skating.
Yeah, she should be so excited with that, so pleased. She was 8th at this event last year, and that she will definitely, if she can keep that up in the free skates, she'll definitely be improving upon 8th, maybe even podium.
Well, that's certainly a podium-worthy performance in that short program. To your point, can she match that in the free? She certainly has done her job here today. She goes and is greeted by her coach, Roman Skornyakov, throwing some stuffed animals on the ground there.
And here on the replay is her triple lutz, triple toe loop. I might personally review the triple lutz, and here's that triple loop. They also might be reviewing her takeoff edge on triple lutz. Needs to be on an outside edge if the skater's on a different one, anyone other than the outside. That will just be some other points off depending on the severity of it. So those are things that the judges are reviewing and looking at, is specifically on lutz and flip, that takeoff edge, and also the rotation on the landing. But regardless, I think that she should be super happy with that performance.
It was beautiful, and I love the way the program really built. Her energy and her attack really built with the music and the swell of the music, and it was it really drew the audience in, and you saw there was a great reaction from the crowd when she finished. Here are the scores. Sophia Beskorovainaya, 57.24, putting her into second place in this short program.
And I think that she lost some points a bit on that lutz toe, but overall, she should be ecstatic.
And now, taking the ice out of the Broadmoor Skating Club in Colorado Springs, Colorado, it's Angela Shao.
Triple toe. And she's got it. Next up is double axel. Just a beautiful unibauer as she skates now into her triple loop. And perfectly timed on the music. And lovely. Probably my favorite jump of the program.
Angela Shao bringing the house down with the beautiful short program. That was gorgeous.
It was so lovely, and I'm so happy for her. She just, as a person, is so smiley. She has a bit of that Jason Brown effect. So that smile that you guys are seeing on her face throughout that whole program, she has that on when she trains at home. She has that on, I'm pretty sure, from when she wakes up to when she goes to bed. And I hope it just gets even bigger after that skates.
I can testify to that. I see her very often on an early morning session at the World Arena, and she's hard at work, so maybe not always smiling, but she's in it and just effervescent on the ice today. She never broke that character, that kind of
No, and I think
soft.
It's a great program for her because in some ways I feel like it's so true to her. I don't feel like she has to play a character. In some ways, right, she is so elegant and sweet and lovely. As I said, I call it the Jason Brown effect, right? And she just, Miss Smiles out there, and I think it's a beautiful vessel for her.
You can call it the Angela Shao effect now.
It's been rebranded. There it is.
That layback was great. She opened up and then pulled the leg in the layback position and really sped up.
Yeah, that increase of speed feature is one of those, I call them the magic features, that you need to get that level 4 on any spin. But a beautiful, very obvious show of it. And look, smiling away.
And her coach, Tammy Gamble, smiling. She's not always smiling in the kiss and cry.
No, I would not. I don't think she identifies as a smiler.
And here's the score for Angela Shao. A 61.88, putting her into second place. Perfect position for a beautiful skate.
Colorado Figure Skating Club, please welcome Jessica Jurka.
And now taking the ice, also training in Colorado Springs, Colorado, Jessica Jurka. She's coming into this competition as the Midwestern Sectional Silver Medalist.
And she opens with a triple Lutz, triple toe loop. A little off between the jumps, but I think triple Lutz double toe.
Hey, that'll work.
And she skates now into her double axel. I don't believe she's doing triple axel at this event, but she is one of the skaters capable of it.
Really great character on the landing of that double axel.
And she needs to land this, the third jumping pass, triple loop. Beautiful. And Jessica always has a lot of interesting spin positions. A kind of pretzel-y back upright is one of her signatures, I would say.
She likes to be outside the box. She likes to do things kind of in her own way. Makes for some really interesting, unique shapes and movements. Jessica Jurka in her short program delivering quite a solid performance today.
Yeah, she's missing some points. Obviously, her only mistake of sorts was her opening combination. She did a triplets double toe, but she was planning and is fully capable of doing triplets triple toe. So she's missing a few points there compared to Sophia and some of the others. But, you know, we had no falls, and a triple double is still a valid combination. Beautiful double axel, beautiful triple loop. I still think she is, as we said, she was bronze medalist last year returning. I still think that this could keep her in the podium running, absolutely.
Well, certainly with all the crazy mistakes we've seen from a lot of this deep field, even a mostly clean performance will be very effective in this event. You can see her in that kiss and cry with her coach, Leif Gislason. Here's that double axel.
I think also that her triplets double toe, it just played on the replay. You know, you could see her tap slip when she put it in for the triple toe, but generally the combination shouldn't receive crazy negatives. You know, there wasn't hands down or flip outs. It's still read as, if I didn't know she was going to do a triple toe, no reason she doesn't have to get -5s and -4s. She can still get a decent amount of money in the bank for that combination. Yeah, and the ride out on that double axel jump, the way she kept that eye contact with the judges, I think she had a lot of positive stuff going her way.
She can be a very intense athlete in her training. Like, she really puts a lot of pressure on herself as she's working her jumps, which I think has served her well in getting that triple axel. And also, I think it can make it really challenging for her. So I was very happy to see her relax and do her job. And here is the score for Jessica Jurka, 56.15 into fourth place.
And a little lower than I was expecting, actually, but still definitely in the running.
Definitely in striking distance, easily in striking distance in the free skate for a medal. And now, taking the ice, Anika Chao from the Glacier Falls Figure Skating Club.
double axel. Very nice. Difficult entrance and a difficult exit there.
An incredibly graceful performance from Anika Chao, the Pacific Coast sectional champion,
Ladies and gentlemen,
on her way to this championships, and absolutely setting herself up for a good result here in St. Louis.
Yes, as I said before the event started, right, she was 5th the last 2 years at this event, and so she is really looking to break that spell and break onto the podium, and I think this short program was a great way to do that. I'll be interested to see what the judges say about her opening combination and triplettes, triple toe loop. In previous seasons, she's really struggled with missing some points due to some under rotations or even some downgrades, right? Finishing that rotation too much on the ice. But here on the replay, we can see it. And she gets, perhaps on the triple toe, I would expect for that, but she is, again, another one of the sensational spinners. I think that her components in this program is a great vessel. I think that she'll be able to make up the loss of points on that let's toe compared to the rest of the field with those skating skills, that component mark, and all of the extra points on her spins.
She has so much poise out there. Yeah, and that difficult landing, back outside 3, turn right from the landing edge into the high jeté.
You know, and everything has a place, from every finger down to every single stretch. Everything has a place and where it's supposed to be. There's a level of refinement with her skating that I think that we were missing with most of the other athletes on this group.
Certainly, I think she stands out as
poised. That's the word I was looking for earlier.
Most poised in this event, I would say, and yeah, beautiful to watch. And ooh, she could be on her way to her first national medal with that performance. Looks like the technical panel have closed their monitor. We're sitting up behind them, so I can look over my desk and see if they're reviewing. And they have completed the review. The data operators will make sure that all of the scores are correctly input into the system. And now we get the score for Anika Chao. And it's a 58.78 into 3rd place. So,
on the podium so far.
In perfect position.
this concludes the junior women.
She is certainly within striking distance.
Well, there you have it. There is the standings for the junior women's short program here at the 2026 Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Anna Kim sitting pretty in 1st place. Angela Shao, beautiful performance, and Anika Chao, absolutely poised and swanerific, sitting in the 3rd place spot. Well, this has been an absolutely wonderful event, but there's more. Don't go far. We have the men's short program coming up very shortly after a very quick break. So come on back. Gracie and I will break that down for you. We'll see you really soon.